Hello and welcome to today's episode on Human Resource Management and Structuring. My name is Rayyan Zahoor and the subject expert is Dr. Arshia Hossain, PhD in Human Resource Management and teaching in the Department of Commerce and Business Studies, Jamia Millia Islamia, New Delhi. Introduction. An organization generally shows its structure using an organization chart. It displays various positions in the organization, the authority of those positions and their responsibilities by clearly showing the reporting structure. An important aspect of the organization chart is that it is related directly to achieving the goals and objectives of the organization. For example, if an organization is an assembly line manufacturing unit, its organization chart will have manufacturing as a primary component. Organization structure. An organization structure is an arrangement that outlines how the activities of that organization are directed so that the goals and objectives of the organization can be achieved. These activities could include the roles and responsibilities of the employees and the rules laid down for them. Each employee is made responsible for certain tasks and is given corresponding authority to enable him or her to complete those tasks efficiently. The relationship between authority and responsibility is clearly spelled out through the entire organization. The objective is to allow seamless coordination and avoid any conflict that might arise due to the lack of clarity about responsibility or authority among individuals and teams. The organization structure also outlines the flow of information between different levels of the organization. For instance, decisions flow from top to the bottom in a centralized structure, whereas the power to make decisions is distributed among the different levels of an organization in a decentralized structure. Significance of organization structures. An organization structure contributes towards the efficient and effective functioning of an organization in several ways. Clear authority relationships. An organization structure assigns responsibility as well as corresponding and adequate authority. It clearly specifies who reports to whom and who is responsible for what. The relationships of authority are clearly defined and the accountability of tasks are clearly laid down. This structure helps each individual in understanding his or her role and its relationship with the roles of other individuals in the organization. Pattern of communication. An organization structure outlines the patterns and channels of communication and provides guidelines for coordination between employees and different teams. It creates clusters of activities and of people and facilitates communication between people based on their job descriptions and their roles. Employees who have shared responsibilities or work as a team to achieve the same business objective need to communicate with each other often and share timely information. Location of decision centers. An organization structure allocates the points and centers of decision making in an organization. Let us take the example of a departmental store. They could adopt a structure where pricing, discounts, sales, promotions and other such decisions are largely left to different departments. This is done to make sure that the specific conditions of these departments are accounted for while making these decisions. Let us take another example, this time of an oil refinery. The decision making of essential aspects like production, scheduling and maintenance are generally assigned to the senior management. This is done to make sure that there is coordination between different departments and the flow of work is smooth and their interdependencies are adequately factored in while making those important decisions. Proper balancing. An organization structure distributes balance and lays emphasis on the right activities. All activities that are critical to the success of the organization are given more importance and are assigned priority. For example, research and development in a pharmaceutical company could have direct reporting to the CEO of the organization. Activities that are generally of comparable importance are kept at equal levels in the organization structure to ensure that equal emphasis is given to them. Stimulates creativity. A good organization structure has the potential to stimulate a creative thought process and encourage employees to take initiative in different activities by assigning clear and well-defined areas of authority. In such cases, all employees are aware of their strengths and their specialization. They are confident that their efforts and initiatives will be appreciated. Encourages growth. An organization structure draws out the framework for the organization. All the functions and activities fall within this framework. A flexible framework will assist the organization to meet all the challenges that come across its way and create opportunities for growth. A good organization structure enables growth for that organization by improving its ability to manage an increase in the level of activity. Capitalizing technological improvement. A good organization structure is versatile and has the ability to make changes and take advantage of any new technological advances. Such a structure will facilitate incorporating the latest technology. It will redefine the existing relationships between authority and responsibility in the pursuit of technological improvement. A good organization structure is crucial for the better management of an organization. Teamwork and productivity can both be improved by a well-designed organization by creating a framework within which employees are able to work effectively with each other. It is important to connect the people of the organization with the design of the organization structure so that it is practical for the organization's functioning and suits the needs of the employees. Technical excellence alone is not enough for a good organization structure unless it is designed keeping in mind the people of the organization. Developing the organization structure. Basic structure and operating mechanism are two different types of structural variables. The design of a basic structure includes central issues like the work of the organization and how it will be divided and distributed between different departments, groups, individuals, positions, etc. It also includes the coordination between them to complete the work and achieve the goals and objectives of the organization. The operating mechanism, however, includes important factors such as rules and regulations, information systems, procedures for setting up a control mechanism, a structure for rewarding and recognition for performing employees, and corrective action for those who are not able to deliver, etc. Broadly speaking, there are two aspects of design of organization structure. One is related to the functions that need to be carried out, and the second is concerned with the form of structure. For the first aspect, the activities of the organization need to be defined and determined, and these activities have to be separated based on the degree of specialization that the organization wants to achieve and can afford to achieve. For the second aspect, a comprehensive study of the principles and practices of the organization and their application is needed. Formal relationships between different groups, departments and positions in an organization are created by an organization structure. These relationships can be classified into several categories. The relationship between a senior employee and his or her subordinates, the relationship between a specialist and other employees including managers and non-managerial staff, the relationship of employees with each other, and the relationship between employees who are at the same level in the organization. The management of an organization creates patterns of responsibilities and authorities, and all formal relationships arise from these patterns. Although they are static in nature, however, they establish a framework for action and can stimulate change and progress. The formal relations are integrated and infused with the patterns of personal behavior and attitudes of individuals in the organization. These create informal relations among employees within the organization. It is important to consider these relations as well while creating the organization structure. It has been observed that an organization that has formal relations which are bureaucratic and rigid, employees generally develop certain channels of communication that enable them to complete their responsibilities in a more effective manner. Organization of Human Resource Department. Organization establishes structural relationships between different groups, departments, individuals and other resources to achieve the goals and objectives of the company. The formal relationship between employees in an organization is the single most important element that leads to the success of the organization. The process of organization includes combing the efforts of all the employees and coordinating their efforts in a way that is efficient and effective. In order to combine and coordinate the efforts of the employees, it is imperative that clear and distinct relationships are established between employees working at different levels in terms of authority and responsibility. There are three different types of organization structures that a company could set up to enable them to do this. One, line organization, second, functional organization, and third, line and staff organization. Line organization. This organization structure is the oldest as well as the simplest. The line of authority based on this structure flows from the top executive to the bottom employee vertically. The top executive is vested with the maximum authority which reduces at every level. An example of a line structure is where an organization structure is based on functional differentiation of the principal functions only. This could be production and marketing. In such a structure, every employee in the organization falls in the direct chain of command of either of these two functions. In this example, the human resource function would not be an independent function and would fall under the production function, and the human resource manager would be reporting to the production manager. In a small organization, the line foreman would take the help of the human resource manager whenever required. However, in a large organization, the human resource development could be further subdivided into smaller teams such as wage administration, training, welfare facilities, etc. In a line organization, we see a unity of command. There is an emphasis on vertical relationship as that makes accountability clear. Strict discipline is observed in line organization, however, that is accompanied by a lack of flexibility. Line executives are forced to perform additional tasks for which they might not be skilled or do not have a very clear understanding. Executives have to depend on their own skills and abilities even in areas that require specialized knowledge like finance, quality control, legal, etc. Functional organization. In this organization structure, we see that all the activities of the organization are divided into different groups based on various functions such as production, finance, marketing, human resources, etc. A specialist who has an in-depth knowledge and understanding of that function is put in charge of that specific function. Each functional head has the responsibility of that specific function for the entire organization. Every department reports to specialists in multiple functions. For example, they could report to one specialist for production and to another with reference to finance. The objective of such a structure is to utilize specialists in the line of positions. F.W. Taylor designed this structure and recommended that there should be specialists to direct the workers in specified functional areas. Functional organization. The way Taylor recommended is never found in enterprises today. In several large organizations, the top structure is of functional type and sometimes that extends to the middle level of the management too. Taylor, however, felt that the functional control should go down to the base level of the operations as well. Functional organization is built on types of work and grouping them accordingly, and therefore is able to take advantage of specialization. The operating executives are provided expert advice whenever it is required during the performance of their tasks. However, clear lines of authority are missing, and this leads to a lack of coordination. Effective managerial control is acutely hampered and discipline is significantly impacted. Line and staff organization. This organization structure has evolved to allow companies to get the benefits of both line organization as well as functional organization. This type of organization structure is based primarily on line structure. However, specialists are appointed and engaged as functional experts so that they can give advice to line managers and executives to perform their responsibilities that fall outside their area of expertise. Today, most businesses follow the line and staff organization. The primary reason for this is that issues related to management have become quite complex and expert advice is often required to deal with such issues. The Human Resource Department is created to help in sorting out issues related to human resources of the organization. Line is used with reference to position in the organizations that have authority and are accountable for achieving the objectives assigned to them. The term staff is used to refer to the specialists who have the responsibility and the authority to give advice related to their specialization, so that the organization as a whole can achieve its goals and objectives. Sometimes confusion and misunderstanding occur between the line and staff managers. This can be overcome when there is good understanding of the concept of line and staff structure. The line and staff organization manual needs to clearly state the authority rendered to line managers and the specialists. This type of organization structure is suited for large enterprises, considering that they run complex operations and the need of expert advice is often required urgently in order to take important decisions. It should be noted that line structure can survive independently, but specialists need the line structure for their existence. However, specialists provide immense value to the organization. Position and status of human resource manager. Line authority. The status of an HR manager varies in different enterprises and is mostly dependent on the type of organization structure followed by that enterprise. Where line organization is followed, there is straight line of authority from the top executive to the bottom. A human resource manager in such an organization has direct authority over executives in his team, which include employment officers, wage officer, training officer and welfare officer, and all his or her officers have direct control over members of their respective teams. Staff authority. The human resource manager in a line and staff organization is a specialist or a staff specialist. He is in a position to give his expert advice on the matters related to human resources wherever such advice is requested by other departments. His role is advisory and the advice is provided is not binding on other departments. He has line authority over members of his own team. However, he does not have line authority over members of other teams, even if their position is much lower. Human resource manager as a staff advisor. Managing human resources of his own team is a part of a manager's job, irrespective of which function he belongs to. The Human Resource Department is created to give support and advice to managers to help them in performing their human resource function. The reason that Human Resource Department is not structured as a part of the line function is that if it was done, all other departments will ignore the responsibility of the human resource function and it will become impossible to fix accountability. The important functions of an HR manager are to build success of manpower supply, screen potential employees, hiring them, provide training to them, maintain employee records, keeping the human resources motivated among others. The HR manager has staff authority in relation to these functions. He can recommend a candidate for a specific job, but the department manager could reject that candidate and has the final authority on who to hire. The HR manager's job is to assist the line managers in all the departments as far as human resources are concerned. The HR manager has line authority within the HR department. Based on the requirements of the enterprise, the HR department could be large with assistant HR managers for each of the important functions and several subordinate staff working for each of those functions. The overall responsibility of the HR department falls on the HR manager, and he has complete authority over his entire department. However, in relation to all other departments, he has an advisory role where he uses his specialized knowledge and skills to assist line managers. Functional authority. The HR manager has line authority in the human resource department. All employees that work in hiring, wage administration, training, employee welfare, etc. work under his direct authority. But as a specialist, he also has functional authority over all other departments where human resources are involved. All policies, procedures and activities related to human resources are developed by him. Since he is a functional expert, he is in a position to give professional and expert advice as well as services to other departments that engage human resources. Summary. An organization structure is an arrangement that outlines how the activities of that organization are directed so that the goals and objectives of the organization can be achieved. These activities could include the roles and responsibilities of the employees and the rules laid down for them. An organization structure contributes towards the efficient and effective functioning of an organization in several ways: assigning responsibility as well as corresponding and adequate authority, outlining pattern and channel of communication, identifying location of decision centers and the relationship with each other, proper balancing of activities laying emphasis on the important ones, stimulating creativity, encouraging growth, capitalizing technological improvement. A good organization structure is crucial for the better management of an organization. Teamwork and productivity can both be improved by a well-designed organization by creating a framework within which employees are able to effectively work with each other. Organizations establishes structural relationships between different groups, departments, individuals and other resources to achieve the goals and objectives of the company. There are three different types of organization structure that a company could set up to enable them to do this. Line organization. The line of authority based on this structure flows from the top executive to the bottom employee vertically. Functional organization. In this organization structure, we see that all the activities of the organization are divided into different groups based on various functions such as production, finance, marketing, human resources, etc. Line and staff organization. This organization structure has evolved to allow companies to get the benefits of both line organization as well as functional organization. This is all we have for today. Hope the session was informative. We will meet again in the next episode with a new topic.